Coming up, Jonathan and Todd attend the DiveTalk Meetup and do a 200-foot dive on trimix. Welcome to Jonathan Bird's Blue World.
It's a beautiful day at the Mayan Princess Resort in Roatan. But Todd and I didn't come here to lie on the beach or lounge by the pool, even though it is a really nice pool. Roatan is a small island off the coast of Honduras, known for its excellent diving. And we're here to dive with 100 or so DiveTalk fans. So, Todd and I are in Roatan.
DiveTalk Go Meetup.
We got invited.
It's wonderful.
So all the cool kids are here.
All the best people.
And it's the second day, and we're gonna go fill some sorb in our rebreathers. It's cool. Many of the divers at the event are using their DiveTalk Go rebreathers. So Gus and Woody arranged to have sorb and oxygen available.
Nothing but originals.
There it is. My little DiveTalk Go, ready to rock and roll tomorrow. Woohoo!
Boosting tanks.
A few of us take turns boosting oxygen. Today it's Henry's turn. He's excited. So far, what has your favorite part of the DiveTalk Meetup been?
Or just meeting all the fans, all the people that love our show, love Gus and Woody's show. It's just it's so inspiring to see not only a bunch of fans out there and how much we appreciate them, but also there's such a diversity of fans. There's the younger people, there's older people, and that's what this sport needs. That's what we all want to see in the industry.
Well, especially some younger people.
Especially younger people, that's right.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's been really fun to meet everybody. And I can't imagine how much work it was to pull together this many people. I mean, there's 100 people here.
Yes.
100 divers that are DiveTalk fans. So that's pretty cool.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. So today we're gonna just go do some diving. We're rotating around from boat to boat.
So we get to meet everybody.
Yeah, so we get to meet and dive with everybody. And so it's gonna be great. And we brought our DiveTalk Go's. There's about, how many people have DiveTalk Go's? There's 30 of them on this trip. It's crazy. We join one of the dive boats and make some new friends. What's going on down here?
We're having fun. We're diving.
Are we having fun?
Yes.
All right.
Can you tell?
I can tell.
Down here on the cool boat?
Yes, here on the cool boat.
That's right.
All right, nice. Then we're off to the dive site.
Who's got the best team? Shelly's got the best team! Who's got the best team? Shelly's got the best team!
Apparently, Shelly has the best team, so we hope that means some great dives. We begin with the group, heading down the reef towards the wall. Of course, anytime Todd and I see anything that looks remotely like a cave, we swim through it. Then we start looking for stuff to film. The wall itself has plenty of whip corals, gorgonians, and sponges. It's so fun to be floating along with no bubbles. We've done most of our rebreather diving in technical situations like wreck diving and cave diving, so it's a really nice change to be using them on a reef dive. You might be wondering what advantage they give us. Without bubbles, we're much quieter, so rebreathers allow us to get closer to the animals. That being said, the marine life can still see you, so it's not like a rebreather makes you invisible, but every little bit helps. Yellowhead jawfish can be particularly difficult to approach on open circuit. But if I take my time and move in slowly on the rebreather,
I can get really close. It still takes the little fish a while to get used to my lights though, even with no bubble noise. When you're an itty-bitty fish, you have to be careful. We find a seahorse on a gorgonian, and rebreathers don't help at all, because seahorses hate video lights and always show us their back. This is a very frustrating species to film. As we continue along the wall looking for subjects, we come across a grouper, kind of hovering in place. He's hovering just above a couple of tiny blue Pedersen cleaner shrimp, who are waving their antennae for attention. One of them swims up to the fish. This is a cleaning station. The shrimp live here and the fish know where they live, but they don't eat the shrimp. Various fish, like this grouper, turn up all day long looking for cleaning. The shrimp walks around on the fish looking for parasites, even walking right into his gills. As you can imagine, this is not an easy thing to film, but my silent rebreather allows me to work my way closer and closer to the action. The shrimp gets a meal and the fish gets cleaned. It's classic mutualistic symbiosis. The cleaners and the fish have an agreement. The shrimp are friends, not food. We leave the grouper to his privacy and move on looking for more subjects. Soon we spot a hawksbill sea turtle way down at 90 feet. At first, I can't figure out what she's doing. I slowly and silently work my way closer. Then, I can see that she's scratching her belly on the reef. Sea turtles love a good scratch. Oh yeah, that must feel good. Oh yeah, oh a little to the left. All right, oh perfect. Clearly, nobody has ever told her that you're not supposed to touch the coral. The advantage of the rebreather here isn't as much the silence as the gas supply. At 90 feet, you go through air pretty quickly on open circuit. But on a rebreather, I can be patient, take my time, and film the action from different angles. It's a great way to do nature filming. Todd and I work together much better on rebreathers too, allowing us to orchestrate more complicated shots, since we can actually talk to each other underwater.
Hello, this is a test of speaking through a rebreather underwater. And the question is, can you understand what I'm saying or not? If you speak very slowly, sometimes you can understand what I'm saying. Other times, it just sounds like you're talking with a sock in your mouth.
We pass a field of garden eels, plucking bits of plankton from the water as it passes. They're also difficult to film on open circuit. Then we start making our way back to the boat. only to find a hawksbill sea turtle chomping on a sponge. Angelfish love these sponges, but the sponges are too tough for them to bite off a chunk. So when they see a hawksbill ripping one apart, they hang around and try to mooch some scraps. Fortunately, hawksbills are messy eaters, so there are plenty of scraps to go around. When a hawksbill gets into a delicious sponge, they don't mind scuba divers at all. Another advantage to rebreathers. Because we managed our oxygen levels to be ideal for every depth we're at, we have no decompression obligation when we finally get back to the boat. Just a safety stop. Then, it's back to the boat. Later that afternoon, we converge at the pool, where there seems to be some kind of a class going on.
So one of the things they do every year at the DiveTalk Meetup is they give people the opportunity to try a rebreather. And this year, of course, we're trying the DiveTalk Go. And the pool is full of like scuba diving royalty. We've got Gus and we've got Woody, of course. But we've also got Doug Ebersol and we've got Mike Young, who designed it and built it. So it's pretty cool. But the most famous person here.
Welcome to the DiveTalk Go Meetup. Let's go see how Gus is introducing new divers to the DiveTalk Go. This way.
Anyways, but we walked all the way down there.
I think you put it sideways right there because you're not in destroys your face. All right, great.
At this event, people get a short lesson on how the rebreather works, and they get to try it in the pool under the supervision of an instructor.
Oxygen on the right side, plugged in on the, and then you carry off forward bailout. Okay.
Doug Ebersol was my trimix instructor.
Actually use the diluent and bailout as the same cylinder.
All right, so what we want to do now is we want to adjust this one first. We want to get your oh no, that's okay.
And Mike Young designed the rebreather.
Now
Talk about getting instruction from the master.
My name's Terry, and I have a scuba problem.
Later, we repacked the scrubbers for the next adventure.
This morning, Todd and I are going on a dive that's one of the highlights of the trip for us.
It is. Nice wreck dive. About 200 feet-ish. Little trimix dive. Get that trimix cert in use.
Well, you know, this will actually be my first time diving trimix after my class. And I was a little worried, you know, something might go wrong, but it won't because my instructor is on the dive. So I'm going to be fine, as long as he doesn't make me do any drills.
Oh, I think he's bringing cards.
But this will be pretty cool. So we're looking forward to it. We're going to be here with the whole DiveTalk gang, and it's going to be fun. What's up, everybody?
We're just staging for a big dive we're doing. Henry arranged a big deep dive to 200 feet on a wreck this morning.
Do we know anything about this wreck, Henry?
Yeah, it's a wreck of the Josie J. It was a wreck that was coming in from Grand Cayman with a cargo ship. Just started making its way to go to port here, and not exactly sure what happened, but actually started taking on water and then eventually listed and sank completely with all its cargo on it. So it's
What was the cargo?
I'm not sure. There were some chickens on board, plastic little chickens, apparently. So.
That's just the cargo.
Bill?
Yes.
Are you excited?
I am very excited.
What are you hoping to see on this wreck?
The rubber ducks, or rubber chickens.
Okay, the rubber chickens. Gus?
Yeah. Dude, another adventure, huh?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Here we do. We're doing it again.
That's what we do.
Doing it again.
This morning we'll be diving the DiveTalk Go. Perfect unit for the dive.
I love being the cameraman this morning, and that means that Todd has to carry everything. You're doing great, Todd.
Excellent.
like the dock? It's a great dock.
A wet dock.
Morning, John. Morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Now I realize all these years I've been doing it wrong. The cameraman doesn't have to carry anything. This is great. I love being the cameraman. Hi, I'm Jonathan Bird, and welcome to Todd's Blue World. Todd, you're the star.
Somebody's got to do it.
Good job carrying those cameras.
I know, green lights.
Great work.
After Todd has carried all of our stuff to the boat, we can finally set up.
Can you recreate the argument for the middle?
Oh, I can't even see it. Here, just hold your mask. There's one with semen on there. Can you demonstrate? Sure.
Then we're off on a 15-minute ride to the wreck.
.305 degrees is right here. The ship is literally a 6-minute swim, and we come into the stern of the ship, okay? So if you get separated, 305, 306.
We get a pre-dive orientation from our dive master.
The smokestack sits at 170, okay?
Finally, it's time to gear up and go.
It's on a swivel. Yeah.
There's like soap or something on this floor.
The Josie J was a small cargo ship that carried supplies back and forth between Roatan and mainland Honduras. In 2005, carrying a really heavy load of construction materials, she experienced a bilge pump failure and started taking on water. Efforts were made to rescue the ship, but she sank rapidly, and it was all caught on video. Fortunately, nobody was hurt. After our extensive pre-dive checks, we hit the water and start sinking down the wall. The wreck is so deep that we can't even see it yet, even in visibility of 100 feet. Every time I dive trimix, I get a laugh out of my helium voice.
I have my helium voice.
Woody sounds like Kenny from South Park. As we get deeper, the wall gives way to a sandy slope, not as steep. Continuing down, one last drop-off and we can finally see the wreck. At only 120 feet long, it's not a very large wreck, which is good because at this depth we won't have much time to explore. Sitting at a roughly 30-degree or so angle, she's covered in sponges. We swim past a big pile of steel rebar on deck that miraculously stayed on the boat as it flipped and sank. The wreck is covered in dangling ropes and fishing gear that has been snagged on her over the years. I swim up to a door in the port side and peek into the wreck. Inside, an orb of shimmering fish, like a CGI sequence out of a movie. I have to film that, so I pop inside. I swim through the other side and we make our way around the bow. Todd and I drop down to the sand at 208 feet to have a look at the marine life growth on the hull. "208 feet is going to load up the decompression schedule a little, so we don't linger long until we start making our way back to the top of the wreck. Rick Stanton, famous for leading the Thai cave rescue, is having a look around. He pokes his head into the cargo hold, and we now see why this boat was so heavy. It was carrying a huge load of concrete cinder blocks. After we've had a good look around, my dive computer is telling me it's time to start back, so I signal Todd. "50 or so feet away, and we get a nice view of the wreck as we begin our ascent up the wall. A nice slow ascent is the safest way to go, and believe it or not, our first decompression stop is at 80 feet for 1 minute. It's hard to believe that we have a deco stop that's deeper than most of the diving we've been doing all week. After that, we have stops every 10 feet from 80 to 10, with a total deco time of 33 minutes. For only 12 minutes spent on the wreck, we have to spend 33 minutes in deco. One of the nice things about a wreck at the bottom of a reef wall is that we have stuff to look at while we complete decompression. We swim back and forth across the reef, being careful not to go shallower than our current deco stop. Mostly, I end up just filming the group. I do find a shy pufferfish. After a while, we make it to the top of the wall and have our longest stop, 10 feet for 12 minutes. After completing our deco with a few extra minutes for safety, we head back to the boat. Our trip to Roatan for the DiveTalk Meetup was a ton of fun. Not only is it cool to hang out with the fans, but make new friends, see old friends, and have great dives on rebreathers. A pretty awesome adventure in the blue world. Hey everyone! We just released Call of the Dolphins, a new film for IMAX and giant screen theaters. Check the website to see if it's playing near you.